There are a lot of women who don't feel comfortable with a stranger in their home. And honestly, we get that. So if you're tired of muddy boots trekking down your hall, or someone acting like you don't know plumbing at all, and if you're over the awkward stance and the long weird glance, and explanations that feel like a condescending dance, and that's why the women at Titan are stepping up to take the lead. Because skill has nothing to do with gender, just grit and speed. Some companies talk about who they won't send. We focus on being the ones you recommend.
First off, this is not a paid advertisement for the Titan Plumbing Group. Just today's episode is going to be focused on, you guessed it, plumbers, women in plumbing. I decided to take a little shift from the automotive content and focus more on women getting into the trades because a lot of videos have been flooding, well, my algorithm, a lot of people losing their jobs, not being able to get into certain work, but the idea about trade jobs are still there. Mind you, I was in the automotive business for more than 20 years, with almost 15 years of that being a parts manager. And I've worked with people directly into the trades. As you know, the dealership environment employs a lot of people, a lot of skilled people who work in the automotive industry and have skilled trades as their business. Now, without further ado, I want to highlight the fact that plumbers are getting a lot of attention lately, and for good reason. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics, they say plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters, they earn a median annual wage of about $62,970 in May 2024, with about 44,000 openings a year, and it's projected to increase from 2024 to 2034 as the trend continues. At the same time, BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they say office and administrative support is zero for secretaries and administrative assistants, and that AI systems is helping to accelerate the drive in the decline in office and administrative tasks.
What do you do and how much do you make? I'm an apprentice plumber and I make about $1,000 a week at the moment. So what made you want to get into this role? I did admin for 7 years, just didn't really enjoy sitting at a desk. So after COVID hit, took the time to change what I was doing, and yeah, here I am. Wow. So do you enjoy this role more than admin? And I hate so keeps me busy on my feet, active, yeah. Is it hard to break into the industry as a girl? I don't think so. Everyone these days is pretty supportive. You just got to get the right people around you. What are some of the perks of the job? I'd say just the people you meet. Some of the blokes are really helpful, and even if it's not your job specific advice, they've always got a bit of life experience that they can share with you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Probably just a tradie by that point. Would have done a couple of years by then. Would be looking at sort of next options, whether I want to be leading hand or anything else. But yeah. How much can you make in those roles? I have the potential to make probably a bit over $100,000 a year. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. We're from a jobs app called Get Ahead. We operate like Tinder. So after you make an account, you can apply for jobs just by swiping right. And we have almost 100,000 users. So yeah, we're going. Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And again, this is not about women as a group. It is about people who keep chasing clerical work while the market keeps moving towards hands-on trades. And the illusion is still there. In most industries outside of trades, only the top 1 or 2% are making it, especially here in content creation, where a lot of women are going into thinking that it gives the allure of a fancy lifestyle. But there's also the fact that women, they brag that they have more degrees and are out earning men in major cities across North America. Although whenever the economy takes a hit, they are the first ones being affected.
How did you become a plumber? I feel like I don't know where to start. That sentence brings back so much memories of myself. When I first got out of high school, I did not know what I wanted to do in life. I was so lost as a career choice, and nor did I have the resources available to me, or anything for that matter. I was more focused on surviving rather than picking a career for myself, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So when I found out about the trades, there was a pre-apprenticeship program for welding, plumbing, and steam fitting, and it was 6 months, and it was free, actually run by the government at the time to encourage women to get into the trades. And so I took that opportunity, even though I didn't really know if I wanted to even be a plumber. I just wanted to see what that was like. So a pre-apprenticeship program is really good if you want to get your foot in the door, put a little bit on your resume, because I did some plumbing, so that's what I was able to put on my resume when I first started. And just to see if you even like it. I think that's a really good place to start. So those of you who are looking to get into the plumbing industry, it's 5 years to complete to get your full license, 9,000 hours. And it's about 6 months of schooling. So, but you get paid through the whole process besides school. And you need like $500 for like your books or whatever each term. But then for the men and women, you actually get grants back. Depending on where you are. In Ontario, I ended up getting a total of $6,000 back just for going to school.
Exactly. I don't get that all back for college. That's why, in most essence, it's a waste of time going to college as opposed to getting a trade skill. Most plumbers, they learn through an apprenticeship program, and in most states, they require a license. And that is the real part, not a theory. If you want steady work, you have to stop working on office roles and desk works and working into administrative areas. Go and search plumbing apprenticeships. You can call the local unions, you can call contractors, you can get your hours and start building a skill that actually gets paid. Let her cook.
But for men, I think it's like 2,000 or something. For women, it's more because it's encouraged to get more women into the trades.
See, they're always giving the benefit of the doubt to the women and having more grants and opportunities geared towards them. But yet still, most of them still choose a path of destruction by ruining themselves and dragging society along with them. I won't get into all that part of it. And I take my hats off to these women who are actually encouraging more women to get into skills that will uplift, maintain, and continue to build our infrastructures.
As for recommendations in a company, when you first start a company, I would say to put on your resume that you are looking for an apprenticeship. Within the 3 months of working in a company, if they don't hire you on as an apprentice, ask them again, remind them, or look for another job, because I've worked 6 months in my career when I first started, and none of those hours counted because I got let go within 6 months. And I thought I was going to get signed up as an apprentice, but I didn't, so I had to start over. I got some experience, but I really wanted my apprenticeship. And one of the reasons why I started this TikTok platform was actually to inform people about water quality, but it was also to help show people what plumbers do and the variety of what we do. So please follow me for more on my TikTok and my Instagram page for more content on plumbing and water quality things that I'm super passionate about. And I wish you the best of luck in finding something.
And her TikTok angle there is Water Plumber Girl for those who are interested. Plumbers, they install and repair pipe fixtures and systems. And they treat blueprints, they inspect systems, they test them, they troubleshoot faults, and they maintain and repair plumbing systems. They work in homes, businesses, factories, and they're on emergency calls. And that is a hands-on work. And it sits in a lane that AI reaches far less often than clerical work. The OECD says occupations that rely on manual skill and strength, they tend to have low AI exposure. A computer can write a memo. It cannot trace a leak. It cannot replace a valve. It cannot fix a burst line. And it cannot crawl under a tight space in a basement or anywhere else. And that is the point people keep missing when they act like office work is the only path worth taking.
I'm Desiree. I'm an instrument technician for Pembina Pipeline. This is our Nemeo station. A typical day in the life of an instrument tech involves maintaining and repairing control and measurement devices. Such devices may include a pressure transmitter for our lines, such as this. So this pressure transmitter is monitoring the pressure of our pipeline right now. And to verify its accuracy, I'm going to hook up with this piece of equipment. This is calibrated every year. It's going to be telling me if this piece of equipment's accurate. I'm also going to hook up with this. This is going to tell us our milliamp signal back to the PLC. I really didn't know what instrumentation was. I was in grade 12 when I kind of found out about it. My dad worked at an instrument and electrical company, and I tried working in the office there, and being like an active person, I was really struggling with sitting there. So I tried working in the shop and found that I really liked the hands-on aspect of the job. And once after working in the shop, I kind of just continued on with my apprenticeship, and the rest is kind of history.
Let me read one of the comment that says here, and it's really fascinating. It says, "Hell," it says, "Hey, fellow instrument girl, love to see it. We have almost the same story, except Dad was an electrician. I went instrument. After years of being an artist, I'm back in the shop fixing chemical injectors. It's a good trade." And these are things I love to hear. That's why I'm showing these to you. I know I have mostly mechanics following my channel, but they can actually branch out into other trades. And these women are exposing all the other trades that are out there that even you may be hem and hawing to go into, but at least you can check them out. You already have the skills, so you have nothing else to lose.
So my dad definitely influenced me into pursuing a career in the trades. He's actually a dual ticket as well, electrical and instrumentation. He was the one who encouraged me when I was there to give it a try in the shop, and it was one of those things I never kind of looked back after that. Don't be afraid to try new things and step outside your comfort zone. I myself hadn't really even touched hand tools until I got involved in the trades. So don't be intimidated by not knowing, because we've all been there and we all got to learn somehow. Women's Day to me is an awareness day. I've learned so much over the past years through skills and through Pemina, with other women coming forth of some of the battles they have overcome in male-dominant trades or industries, not even just trades. And it lets you know that you're not alone out there. Thank you for joining me at my workspace. Happy International Women's Week.
And we need to emphasize the importance of why fathers are very important in the lives of their daughters and their children overall, because without the men being there, she wouldn't have had a role model to actually elevate to. So when women tell other women to become plumbers, the advice, it actually makes sense. The trade pays, the path is clear, and the need is real.
And by the way, if y'all didn't know, but most plumbers and electricians who then go on to own their own businesses make more than most doctors and lawyers today. It's actually becoming a national security issue because the DoD, Department of Defense, is looking for 600,000 electricians and welders in the next 6 years. And they don't exist. And that is just to maintain our military equipment, not to build new.
So I can't provide numbers to prove this claim to be true. However, I can provide numbers that make it plausible. Supply and demand is a pretty simple concept. With the demand increasing by 600,000 electricians, that's massive considering we only have 800,000 licensed electricians as it is. And oh, by the way, the average age of an electrician is 41 years old. And about a third of those electricians will retire in just a few years. When it comes to plumbers, we need 550,000. The average age is also 41 years old, but 40% of plumbers will retire in just a few years. So yeah, the demand is up, the supply is down, there's big money to be made. P.S. These are just two trades. I could name 80 plus other trades that have the same trend.
And one of the comments here says, union elevator mechanic here, and we have a huge gap in the trades. Easily hit $300,000 a year with some overtime in California. Need I say more? I've been advocating for elevator mechanics for the past 5 years. We need to see more young men going into that path. But the problem is with young men today, they're being bombarded by single mothers, which they have little or no exposure about the real world out there. They are enjoying the infrastructures, but they don't know the real work it takes to build and maintain them. And it's a sad path we're on.
Hey guys, Danny here. We're doing a little mini series on how women can get into the trades. And I want to first talk about apprenticeship. Anybody can go get an apprentice card. Just go to the DLR website, tell them what trade you're getting into, and get your card. Now, I recommend trying to get in touch with a company that's going to hire you as an apprentice so you can start getting calculations on your hours. Once you have your hours, then that's when you can go get your journeyman's license. But getting that apprenticeship card is going to be the very first step in starting your process. I hope this helps.
And the thing is, plumbers, pipe fitters, and steam fitters, they also keep working full time, and the job comes with nights, weekends, and emergency calls. And that is a trade-off. Clerical work, they keep getting squeezed. Plumbing does not. If you want work that still has room and still needs people, you have to learn a skill that machine cannot replace.
So I'm on my level 3 plumbing right now, and here is a project that I'm putting together. First, we had to do an isometric drawing of this project, including the pump and the pressure tank and the copper piping. So I'm hooking up the pump to the well and to the pressure tank in order to do some mathematical equations for this project. These equations are going to include Boyle's law, and then I have to figure out flow rates from 30 psi to 60 psi. I have to figure out my drawdown. Wish me luck.
The data is clear. Less work, they are shrinking. Plumbing still has openings. They still have the pay and they still have the training part. Get trained, get licensed, and get to work. It's that simple.
The women who like to get on here and call some of the female tradies pick-me girls really think that we make the choice every day to dress like a bum and work our fingers to the bone, all for the attention and affection of a man whose name is probably Bubba? I mean, I love Bubba. That's my boy right there, but come on now. Sisters, I don't know if you know this, but as a woman, going into the trades is a notoriously unpopular way to get a man to like you. Anyways, be sure to ask for a pick-me girl the next time you need to schedule a service call because you overflowed your bathtub having your mid-morning wine.
And the top comment here says we're chasing money, not men, which is ideal. If you're in the trades, you are going to make money in the long run. You don't look at the short-term games.
Twin.
And she's actually using the pole mate to move a sediment-ridden water heater up the stairs. So the tools are actually there to get the job done for you. But like I said, somebody has to get it done, but majority of us won't know exactly how it's done. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. The links are in the description box below. Stay sharp, stay educated, and I will catch you in the next one.